Hey friends, I believe we're on Wednesday. Happy Wednesday evening. It's Jennifer Allwood. I am in a hotel room in Miami. I am here for a mastermind group that I belong to with my business coach, Stu McLaren. So I'm sitting in a room with 20 brilliant business people this week, which just lights my fire. And since my fire is lit, I thought, okay, so I was literally like, let's just be honest here, truth be told, I was literally already in my pajamas. My pajamas are under this. I just threw this on so that I look professional. It's a big fat lie. Okay, I've got jammies up in here, jammy bottoms on. I'm in my bed with a diva ring light situated on a magazine called Cultured with 30 young artists you need to know. And so that's what I'm doing. I've got my phone is clipped to my what is this called? An ironing board. This is an ironing board, y'all. It's an ironing board. So I'm at Stu's mastermind. I am just so energized by the people that I'm in the same room with. Listen, we're going to talk business here, and I'm going to answer a bunch of your questions because I brought them on the plane with me that you guys submitted to me this week. Let me give you a little tip here for free. Okay, let me give you a little tip here for free. If you belong to any group and you're meeting with other business owners and you're trying to grow your own business and you're the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Okay, you are in the wrong room. So let me just tell you, the people that I'm in this mastermind with, they're stinking brilliant. And I walk out of there going, dang, they smart. Dang, they smart, and I need to be smarter. And so I will tell you that. So that's one thing about belonging to a business group of any kind, okay? A mastermind, a coaching group, whatever. Number two, you know how when you had kids, how many of you here are moms and you had little kids? And you remember that saying, sleep promotes sleep? Like, you make them nap and they'll actually sleep better at night, right? How many of you guys read all the books? Hi, Cammie. Good to be here. And so sleep promotes sleep, right? Well, let me tell you something. When you're in the room with a bunch of smart people, it promotes you to be smarter. I'm telling you, it's like contagious. It's like the stinking flu. You get around all those brainiacs, you can't help but just like having some of that rub off on you. Like it just kind of somehow falls on you like glitter. It's amazing. So first business tip for you, get in a room where you're not the smartest person and stink and learn something. Haha, with that being said, okay, where's my list of questions? All right, so the other day, I was remember I was in my car and I took my son and his two kids, Lord Jesus, he's 14. I took him and his two friends and they were doing a $20 YouTube challenge on like finding an outfit. So we went to the Savers, then we went to Goodwill. By the way, you guys viewed his video over 3,000 times last night because I put the link in here. He freaked out. He's calling me this morning at my hotel in Miami. Mom, are you up? Mom, did you do something with my video? Mom, what did you do? Mom, this is crazy. Today he says, I think I just need to quit school and just go full-time on YouTube. And of course he's joking, but all right. Anyhow, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. So I'm going to answer the questions you submitted to me live. All right. Listen, you can all, if you have a business of any kind online, you can learn something here. Okay. So tune in if you will. First up was Terry Hayers. Terry said her biggest struggle is finding the best place to sell. She was struggling with selling and setting up at shows. I might only have like 2 brain cells left to rub together if I'm being really honest. So I'm probably going to like not be at my best. So I'm just going to ask for some grace as I read. I was struggling selling and setting up the shows nonstop. So I opened up a store and she's only made $7 since December 23rd. I struggle to find the right way to sell. Okay, listen. A lot of people will automatically, in the creative world especially, your first thought is, I need a store. I need a storefront. No, you don't, okay? Unless you have a proven track record of being able to sell out of your garage or your basement, you do not need a store. And thank you, Glynis, for sharing. I appreciate you so much. And so if you've only made $7 since December 23rd, that's going to be a huge problem, Terry. I love you enough to tell you the truth, but you have a family to feed. And if you don't, I have a family to feed, and I know I couldn't do it on $7 a month. And so, listen, you're either selling the wrong thing to the wrong person or at the wrong price or at the wrong time. Okay, so I want you to look at those 4 things. Once again, either selling the wrong thing. If you're trying to sell, remember those pot holders we used to make in the 80s with those like looming things? Okay, so if you're trying to sell those at the wrong price for 50 bucks a piece, at the wrong time, they're no longer popular, in the wrong place, which is a store, and they would be buying it on Etsy. Like, see how you just got to figure out where are your people, what are they willing to spend, and then place your stuff there. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of those things to look at. Best of luck to you. Okay. Mary Malash Hayes says, she loves the creative process. After I'm done, I'm ready to move on to the next piece. So my guess is you are a furniture painter, but then you have no clue how to sell it and no clue how to market it. You need a partner or someone with a left brain because you're so right brain. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a big little tip here, okay? It's a big little because that doesn't really work in the English language. Okay, listen. I was never the best painter in Kansas City. I was not the most talented faux finisher by a long shot. By a long shot. But what I did know how to do, and I didn't even realize that's what I was doing, was I did know how to market it. You can be the most talented at anything, Mary, and it will not matter if you cannot figure out how to sell it. You will starve. You will starve. And so you're going to have to figure out what is, number one, you probably have a money story, which here's what a money story is. I did a podcast with Dr. Samantha Mattinghosh. It was probably like podcast. It was like 17, 18, something like that. Go back. Oh, hi, Damon. They said Damon said hello. Thank you, Damon. I cannot wait to see you at my mastermind soon. I have lots to talk to you about, Damon. So now I'm distracted. Now I'm distracted. Where was I at? Right brain, left brain. How to price it. The thing is, oh, Dr. Samantha. Okay, so Dr. Samantha, I had her on the podcast, and she basically said this. We all have a money story of some sort. We all have a feeling that when we talk about something having to do with money, that instinctively comes up in us. So here's what it could be. You may, growing up, is it podcast 17, Taretha? Dang, girl, we're right here. Emily, you joined my group at themagicbrushinc.com/inner circle. But here's the deal. You guys are sidetracking me, and I'm telling you, I have 2 brain cells left after sitting in a chair all day. So you can't sidetrack me. I can't get distracted. La 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 la. Okay, so now I'm back to marketing it. Darn it! What was I going to say? Oh, Dr. Samantha. Okay, so you all have a money story. So it could be. I'm not reading comments for 5 seconds, so I can get this story out of my face. So maybe when your parents used to pay bills, that used to be a seriously stressful time in your family. And so whenever you have to sit down and pay the bills, it just instinctively gives you a stomachache. Maybe the thought of hiring somebody to clean your home or to do the books for your business or to help you with any advertising absolutely makes you sick to your stomach. You can't imagine doing that. You feel completely guilty when you're working only 6 hours a day and you feel like you should be working 10. Those are all money story, money issues that happen to all of us, okay? In your business, you're gonna have to get over those money humps. So, Mary Malash Hayes, if you're saying that all you like is doing the creative process and you are having a hard time charging for it, you have no idea how to sell it, and you have no idea how to market it, you're going to have to either teach yourself and learn. And in today's world, on the interwebs, with this thing called Google, there is absolutely no reason that you cannot learn how to sell it and how to market it, okay? Listen, I was not the best painter, but I could market that thing like nobody's business, okay? If you have any sort of love for social media, the ability to be a decent communicator, some passion about what you're doing, and you are providing people with value, you will literally build a following on social media. And that is a lot of times how you can sell it. Mary, if nothing else, obviously you're on Facebook because you watched my video. Use Facebook Marketplace. If nothing else, do Craigslist if you must, but I would prefer you to do Facebook Marketplace. But you need to figure out how to use your page to sell. Thank you guys so much for sharing this. I appreciate you. Okay, Chandra, Logston, Carmack. Don't you love how Facebook has like, you know, the maiden name? So it's we all have 3 names. Okay, so it's Chandra, Logston, Carmack says, do we have to do paid ads to keep your business page? No. But if you want to keep your business page small, listen, there's only 2 ways, really, to grow your page by leaps and bounds. My friend Rachel Miller and I were talking about this over dinner, actually, over my filet mignon with a side of creamed mushrooms and whipped potatoes. Lord Jesus, I ate every bite to the glory of God. It was fantastic. So Rachel builds pages with viral Facebook traffic. I mean, she is a genius at viral Facebook traffic by posting things that have a tendency to go viral, and that has grown her pages like crazy. Me, on the other hand, I have grown my page through doing Facebook Lives and by using paid ads. Now, there's a huge difference between paying for likes, not that, okay? paying for a like ad so that you're targeting people who perhaps follow Joanna Gaines, watch HGTV, are between the age of 28 and 55 in the United States, that sort of thing. Does that make sense? So if you want to grow your page quickly, you have a couple of things you can do. You're either going to have stuff that goes viral, like you're going to have to. You're going to have viral stuff, or you're going to have to use ads. Otherwise, you're going to be doing the ones and twosies thing, which is lovely, but takes for freaking ever. And for some of you who are like, I feel like I'm already behind. How many of you think you're already behind? Grace to you, by the way. But if you think you're already behind, you don't have time for getting onesies and twosies, new likes on your page a day. You don't have time for that. You need to be growing quicker. I have so many people that are in my inner circle who have done an amazing job of growing their pages, and their business directly reflects that. It shows in their bank account every month. I have other people whose pages have stayed small, and they're trying to start, some membership sites. They're trying to sell some courses, and it's a struggle for them because they have too small of a pot that they're trying to sell to. Does that make sense? So you need to get more people following your business page. Ads, getting stuff to go viral, shares, those sorts of things. That's what you're going to have to do. I love you. I love you, Chandra. Okay. Jennifer Murdoch Gillen says, you'd like to know more about sharing other people's tips and tricks to your customers, or funny sayings, recipes, cleaning and organizing. What are the rules of copyright and sharing? I love this, Jennifer. I love this because there's a lot of stinking rules to copywriting and sharing. Listen, Linda. Somebody messaged me the other day and she said, every one of your Facebook Lives, I just wait for you to say, listen, Linda. So I'm saying it right here. Listen, Linda. Okay. You can't take a graphic that I've paid my VA to make that's on my page and just save it and post it onto your page. That is a violation of copyright laws. Some of you have been doing this. And maybe you didn't know. I'm telling you. Damon says he grew his page 80,000 people by listening to me. Damon, you are a coach's dream. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, Damon Oates. His page, Deco Exchange, is just gone bonkers. I've had the honor of coaching Damon for, 7 months now? He's amazing. Doing a great job. But so those of you who don't know this, you can't go over to Pinterest and just take a graphic and save it on your phone and upload it to your page. That's a copyright violation. It's stealing. I love you. It's stealing. So there are times when I have found a picture of something, a room of mine that I've decorated even, that somebody's using as their cover photo on their business page. And I'll privately message them very sweetly and just say, hey, did you know that's a copyright violation? Like, that's my living room. You can't use it on your page without my permission. Okay? In addition to that, did you know that if you're going to someone's sales page and you're pretty much copying it word for word, copyright violation. Copyright violation. Maybe the tagline for your business, you're pretty much copying word for word. That's a copyright violation. I mean, there is some, how do I want to say this? Let me think of how I can put this in a really nice way, because it's funny that you would ask this now, Jennifer Murdoch Gilland, because I had someone messaging me today and they're like, do you realize this girl's copying your stuff? And I'm like, is she now? Oh, yeah, she sure is. That's not imitation is the greatest form of flattery. That's copyright violation. Okay, so just letting you know, be careful with that, you guys. Don't build your business copying somebody else's business. That's a poverty mentality. Don't do what somebody else is doing pretty much verbatim. Okay, ain't nobody got time for that, all right? Do you, and do you to the best of your ability, but don't copy other people and use their stuff. God bless it. Okay, Blaze and Rose Creations. Okay, number one, she's smart because she commented on my Facebook post as her business. Okay, so again, her name is Blaze and Rose Creations. So I just gave her a shout out, not once, but twice. And I'll say it a third time because she did a good job of commenting as her page. Blaze and Rose Creations asks, I have a personal and a business page. Sometimes I get likes and on my business page, but most of the time I hear crickets. I need help on how to get my audience to interact, and I would love to know the how-tos. Okay, you know what? I'm so glad that you asked this. The other day, I started down this, I was telling you guys a story about the lady at the mall. How many of you ever were listening to me talk about the lady at the mall with the little clipboard, and then I got sidetracked and I didn't tell you the rest of it. So here's what happens. we'll have our business page, okay? So maybe this is you. You'll have your business page, and your cover photo doesn't have a picture of you in it at all. It doesn't really say what you do. Your profile picture is not a picture of you, or it's more like a logo. And so then you start asking people what they're having for dinner, and you hear crickets, and here's why. Here's why. Because I was saying how, you know how when you're at the mall and you're walking down the mall, you're minding your own business, you're noticing that the Express is having a nice sale, you're talking yourself out of going into Victoria's Secrets and getting more body sprays, you're going by Bath and Body Works and you're trying not to buy the 3-wick candles in the winter scent. Like, you know how you're in the mall and you're doing that, right? So you're walking up the mall and you see some random chick, and she's got a little clipboard and a little pen and she's walking towards you. And you're trying not to make eye contact. You're trying not to make eye contact because you're like, I know she's going to ask me some random questions. She's like got a survey thing on her clipboard and you know it. She knows it. And you're thinking to yourself, if I act right now like I do on Southwest Airlines and I just don't make eye contact, maybe nobody will sit next to me. Let's be honest. If I do that, maybe she won't ask me her questions. Okay. That's how people feel when they don't know you at all. And you're just asking random questions on your Facebook page. They're like, who the heck is that? And why would I give her an answer? The truth is, everyone is so busy. We live in such a busy, noisy world that the only way I'm going to stop in the mall and answer somebody's questions is if it's my neighbor, Maureen. Maureen doesn't even know that I use her as an example, okay? So let's say I'm walking through the mall. And I know Maureen, and Maureen's walking towards me with a clipboard, and I know full good and well Maureen's trying to get me to answer some questions, but it's Maureen. I'm going to answer her questions, right? That is the difference between you never showing who you are on your Facebook page and asking questions, and you finally putting your own profile picture up on your page. You finally doing a Facebook Live, so people get used to hearing your voice. They get used to seeing your face. And then you ask them questions, and then they will answer, okay? So there you go. So that's the difference. So Leanne says, you don't want to lose any of the followers. Okay, wait, this is a totally different question. Sorry. Okay. This is Leah Ann Payne Thompson. Leah Ann Payne Thompson has 4 names. She says, I have a personal and a Facebook business page. Should I just move it to one page? No. I keep my personal page for pictures of my dog, pictures of my kids, and that's for my mother. It's for my friends. My friends don't follow along with my business page because they're not my ideal clients, and I don't care. Should you just move to one page? No. Keep your personal and keep your business page. I just do very little on my personal. I'm afraid to share too much on your business page. Well, I don't know that you can share too much if I talked about my husband's vasectomy last Sunday on a Facebook Live. I mean, I think what your question is actually, how personal can I get on my business page? And I think there's a comfort level for all of us. I think that you don't want to come out of the gate talking about your husband's vasectomy when they don't know who you are, okay? But I think when you have really worked hard on what I teach, all the time. Somebody please share this immediately because we've got 666 viewers. And not that I'm superstitious, but yeah, if you'd share this, that'd be awesome. And so I don't think you can overshare too much information most of the time. We, of course, have to have a filter on social media. You're saying you don't want to lose any of the followers you do have. Well, unless you're posting stuff that's absolutely repulsive, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But listen, this is a good thing to remember too. When people unfollow your page, it is a good thing. Okay, somebody write that down. It is a good thing. Those weren't your people. Those weren't your people. You don't want people who are not your people to be following your page because they're dead, then they're dead weight. Like then they're dead weight and they're making your numbers like crash. So it's okay when they unfollow your page. And if you're one of those people that's watching every day, how many likes you go up, how many likes you go down, you're going to drive yourself to drink. Knock it off. Leslie, ignore them. They're trolls. Ignore it. We don't give them any attention at all, but they are helping the reach of this video exponentially. Mwah. So God bless it. So what do you share and what not share? I think there needs to be a comfort level for you, and I think you need to ease into some of that slowly. If you yourself are your brand, you can share a lot more than if you've never branded yourself. Okay. Lindsay Smith says, I struggle trying to find people to respond to your posts when you ask questions. I have close to 2,000 followers. Okay, so go back and listen to what I just answered the other lady about my example of being in the mall, and and keep this in mind, when you have 2,000 followers, Facebook is only going to show your post to 10% of your audience. So if you've got 2,000 followers, I'm a smart girl with math here, so it's only going to show your post to 200. And so if you can just get even 10% of those to comment, like, you're doing really good. It's a numbers thing with Facebook, okay? So get your followers numbers way up. Make sure that you're building relationship with the people on your page, and then they'll be much more likely to answer your questions. Amy Maria says, I don't know why I just did that really weird voice. I'm so sorry. Amy Maria says, what are your thoughts on hiring a social media manager? Is it something all creators should consider as a way to free up time? I say no to that. I say no to that, Amy, and here's why. I have posted every single day on my Facebook page for 4 years, at least 4 times a day, without fail, for 4 years. And it wasn't until just in the last couple months that I had somebody helping me do some posts, but she's copying and pasting old posts that did well. So never outsource your voice. I can look at somebody's Facebook page and I can always tell that they have somebody else that they've hired to do it for them. Does that make sense? They've already done it. I can tell because it's just a random post that nobody would sit down and write, like text it out to their friend. When I'm doing a post for you guys, I try to type it out like I would be texting one of my friends. And so that way that it sounds like what I'm actually talking. You can tell when somebody has a social media manager, everything falls flat. Comments are 0. It's awful. So, all right. Let me see. What's the next question here? Kathy Johnson Gould says she's trying to brand or come up with a logo for her farm business. We know you have to market yourselves as well as your veggies, but you need marketing materials. Okay, listen, Kathy, a lot of people get stuck right here on this stuff that really does not matter. Okay, so a logo for your farming business, sometimes people will get stuck right there for 6 months. They'll get stuck right there for 6 months just because they're stuck on the stuff that does not matter. They're focusing on the stuff that literally is not going to change their business. And then they've got in this, circle of stalling, tweaking, trying to figure out if they like it. They don't like that person. They hire another person, and it's all for a logo. It does not matter. You can have it done in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes. So don't get stuck on the stupid stuff. Because the logos don't matter. I love you enough to tell you the truth. Okay. Kim Ken Schmidt says, starting a website. Is there an easy and cheap way to do a website? Of course there is. You're just starting out, and the thought of spending $1,000 or more on a website is scary. Okay, first of all, I have people that I recommend in my inner circle. You have to be in there, of course, to get their rates, but it's less than $1,000. But listen, you don't have to have a website initially. You can be selling on Facebook. You can sell on Etsy, which I'm not a huge fan of. I really like for you to have your own website. But initially, just to get started, just see if you can start making some money first. Keep a percentage of everything you're making, though, and put it in your pot to get your own site up. Because every day you don't have a website is a day that you're losing money. Ellen, virtual assistant. Jennifer, what are your thoughts on other platforms for lives? I'm going to be testing out some lives on Instagram, but I don't love any of them. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't love any of them. I don't love YouTube Live. I don't like Instagram Live. And so, yeah, none of those are my favorite. Okay. Next question. Faux Your Eyes Only. Good job on commenting. It's your business. Okay. Faux Your Eyes Only says you eventually want to have a paid group. Your fan page is at 3,000. Your Instagram is at 1,000. You plan on starting to do some lives of the content you would like to have as a paid group, or maybe you should have them separate and have a one-time payment for each technique. What's your next step? Okay, your next step is to keep growing your audience. I don't want to discourage you trying to start a paid group or selling one-off videos with 3,000 people, but I didn't start selling videos until I had 50,000 followers. And we did $100,000 in 14 months with those videos, but I had 50,000 people to sell to. My concern is when you don't have a huge audience yet, and you don't have to have huge. If the 3,000 that you have, Faux Your Eyes Only, are diehard fans, if they are already, asking you for product, asking you for videos, asking you for a class, asking you for a course, then by all means, start thinking about that, start laying down the groundwork, start, talking about it, planting the seeds, and then actually get that out the door for them. But if nobody's asking you for it, I would work first on building your audience, but that's just me. There are people with really much smaller followings than I do, but whose people are all in with them, all in, that they can do well with a page that size in terms of selling. But if it were me, I would try to get your numbers up higher first. All right. No, all of my Instagram posts are absolutely positively me. Absolutely. Okay, Hair by Tony Abishon. So she wants to buddy up with some local businesses and go live. Is this a good idea? Yes, girlfriend. Are you kidding me? Yes. Yes, there's times when I go into my friend Chrissy Huff's store, Restoration Emporium in Kansas City, and go live. Why is that good? I'm live in her store. She's going to then share it to her page. So I expose her to my audience. She exposes me to her audience, etc. If you can, go live both of you at the same time if you're sitting down or something and talking, and then you can both be live at the same time, and that's fantastic as well. Yeah, it would help you in your business. Absolutely. Anytime another business can expose you to their clients or to their audience, all in on that, sister. Absolutely. If you're a good match. If you're a good match. Let's see. Mary Cahill says, your business is different than most in my group. You know what? My group is really branching out. We've got real estate people. We've got health people, wealth and wellness people. We have writers. We have wreath makers, a ton of them, a ton of painters. But we have a lot more than just creatives anymore. You're a certified lactation counselor. Go girl. Your dream is to help mothers nationally, not just locally. Yes and amen. You have a Facebook page and a Facebook support group that you do nothing with right now. Girlfriend. So then it says question, ... see more. So I can't see more of it. I'm so sorry. You're at the bottom of the page. So I'm going to try to guess at what your question is. The fact that you said you have a Facebook page and a Facebook support group, but you're doing nothing with it right now makes me want to cry. So I want you to start doing something with both, Mary. Something with both. And I want you to be targeting all of the hospitals, the local hospitals that you have with birthing units. I want you to be targeting with Facebook ads doulas. I want you to be targeting with Facebook ads people that follow Babies R Us. Yes, those are all in my inner circle. Cami, those are all people that are in my inner circle. So absolutely get back to using your Facebook page, get back to doing your Facebook support group, and start doing some Facebook ads as well. Okay, let me take a couple more things here. All right. I can't read Judy Butler's question. I'm so sorry. It says Seymour. Okay, April James Squirrels. Oh, wait, her name is April James, and her question is squirrels. So many squirrels. Sorry, April. April James. Trying to find my one thing and then focusing on the one thing when there's so many squirrels. Damn squirrels. Okay, so, and I just said the cuss word because she typed it out. April James, listen, if you're a creative person, I coach the people in my inner circle to brand yourself more than what it is that you're making. Here's why. This is the same thing with all creative people. We start on one thing. We get excited about another. This thing looks sexy this month. Now I want to make this. Now this is no longer in vogue, so I want to do this. Creative people are notorious for this. Notorious. And so if you brand yourself, you can do a lot of different creative things all at once. All at once. So don't feel like, because here's what happens with creative people. First of all, tell me how many of you on here, and just ignore all the dumb comments. Tell me how many of you on here are creative people, okay? Because creative people are the awesomest, coolest, quirkiest, but weirdest. We are the squirreliest people in the bunch. We are some of the flakiest people in the bunch. And here's one of the reasons why, okay? When you're creative and people tell you now you got to get a business and you kind of feel like you're throwing elbows internally because you really weren't designed as a creative person to be like, which you have to have to some degree in order to have a successful business, right? So here's what happens, April James. I'm just going to call her April James Squirrels because that's literally, like, that's how she typed it out. April James squirrels. So instead, if you will quit putting this pressure on yourself to do one thing and instead just do a group of things. I'm not telling you to do 20, but you could do April James designs. You could do April James creations. Then you can make girls headbands and pot holders and some jewelry if you want, and do a couple of signs, and maybe do Damon's wreath class and do that too. Does that make sense? Like then you're able to do more than one thing. April James is here. April, look at you. You're a celebrity. So I hope that helps. Quit putting pressure on yourself to pick one thing. But April, because I love you, I don't know you, but I do love you, I'm going to tell you the absolute truth here, okay? A lot of creative people use what you just typed to me as the excuse for why they have not started. They will say, I can't pick one focus. What they mean is, I'm scared to death to start on one thing. That's what they mean. So don't use that I can't pick one thing as the reason why you keep delaying starting anything. Pick one. Let it be something that, ask the people closest to you. Ask your best friend, of all the things I do, what do you think I should do first? Your friends, the people who love you, will tell you what to do first. But make sure you have the friends that are going to tell you the truth and not the friends that are just going to be like sucking up to you. When you look back at all your text messages from the last couple months, what did more people ask you than anything else? And start there. That's why I started on cabinet painting tutorials. That's what everybody was asking me about. Give people what they're asking for. It's not paralyzing at all, Debbie. It's actually freeing when you're like, I'm picking something by Friday. Who just said that their goal is to pick something this year? No, girl, you're going to pick tomorrow. What was your name? I missed it, and you said you're going to pick something this year. You don't have this year, honey. Kayla, you don't have this year. Your goal for this year. No. I'm going to ask you, Kayla, to have a decision by the end of January and to please email me when you've got it. I'll hold your feet to the fire on that, because you want to know why? It does not take that long to start something. You don't need the next 11 and a half months. Okay? You can get a Facebook page up in the next 11 and a half minutes. Every day that some of you are putting this off and putting this off, like you could be one step closer to freedom in your life, one day closer to money in the bank, one day closer to being able to put your kids in private school, one day closer to taking some of the pressure off your spouse to have to go to work every day, one day closer to retiring your spouse. So every day you're delaying it, you're affecting other people. Kayla says she did pick. Good job, girlfriend. Now get a business page up tonight. I love you so much in my heart. Let's see. Okay, Rebecca Gwyn Refno says, no, I pronounced that wrong. Renfro says, I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on how to adapt to the new Facebook algorithm changes. Okay, so, and then the girl, I think Bella Casa Art asked me the same thing. With the algorithm changes, what's the best way to post on Facebook? Same way I've been coaching everyone in my inner circle for the last 2.5 years. You post 4 times a day. You go live 2 times a week. You build engagement. You share stuff that's already viral if you can't come up with things on your own. But you're consistent, and you're on your page with your posts and with your Facebook Lives with a heart to serve. With a heart to serve. How do the 2,000 people that follow me, how can I best serve them? What do they need the most? I'm going to post about that thing. Facebook is basically saying, we really don't want you spamming the heck out of your page anymore. Just asking people if they would rather 1, 2, 3, or 4. If they'd rather have designer 1, 2, 3, or 4 show up at their house, because you're engagement baiting. You're just trying. You're only doing that to get people to put down a number so that your page will get more engagement. Facebook doesn't want you to do that. If you will continue to build your page in the way that I've told both you and my coaching group, and if you've already doing that, the algorithm changes aren't going to bother you. They're not going to affect you. If you're a blogger, okay, so leg cramp, being totally honest here, all of my stuff could come crashing down in a second. Look, I told you I was in jammies. If you are a blogger and you've built your Facebook page on sending traffic to your blog, the algorithm changes are going to sting a little, because Facebook, this is what I teach in my coaching class. Listen to me. Somebody type this in the comments. Facebook is a jealous boyfriend, okay? If you'll always think of Facebook like that, you will always be able to figure it out. Facebook doesn't want you leaving Facebook. Facebook doesn't want you playing on other social medias. Facebook doesn't want you sending links outside of Facebook. It wants all of your attention. It does not want you going anywhere else. It does not want you sending people elsewhere. It wants all of it. A jealous boyfriend, okay? It wants all of your time. And if you will just remember that, it will help you to understand that when you send people to your blog, which a lot of you are doing for ad revenue. I teach ad revenue. I get it, okay? I make several $1,000s a month off ad revenue. But when you're trying to send people out of Facebook over to your blog, Facebook is saying we're going to ding those posts even further. And that's okay. And that's okay. So just keep in mind that Mark Zuckerberg is not doing this to irritate all the business owners. Instead, he's just trying to make the Facebook experience better for people who have done a terrible job of they're not posting regularly. All they're doing is doing engagement baiting posts or sending people out of Facebook. The algorithm change could very likely hurt them, and you'll see their posts even less, to the point where they're eventually just could be like, and it leaves more room for those of us who have built our page on engagement and who have built our page on serving. Does that make sense? I ain't worried about the algorithm change. And the people who have built their pages right shouldn't be either. They shouldn't be either. I hope that that's helpful. Anytime that, Mark Zuckerberg announces anything, people go sideways. They lose their ever-loving mind. I'm like, good Lord, people. I got so many private messages wanting my thoughts on it, which I did a Facebook Live and gave my thoughts on it. But I hate that mentality of that chaotic, the sky is falling, everything's going to go down the drain, everything we've worked so hard for. No, it's not. First of all, speak positive things over both your business and Facebook. Facebook's the best thing that ever happened to my business. It's the best thing. And so if Mark Zuckerberg wants to change his rules a little bit, guess what? It's his game. Mark has every right to do it. My job is just to play by the new rules and to be smart enough to figure out how I can play by the new rules. So, Cassie Lynn says all the legal stuff freaks her out. Cassie Lynn, because you're not wired to figure out legal stuff, babe. This is why you hire or you beg, borrow, or steal an attorney. If you were to go to your personal Facebook page right now and say, I need an attorney to help me figure out some business stuff. Does anybody know one? You'd have people who would give you a recommendation. You're making it too big. You're making it too big. And so when you're talking about all the legal stuff freaking you out, are you talking about you're worried about getting sued? If you're not plagiarizing, if you're not copying people's content, if you're not pretty much making your tagline of your business exactly what mine is and pretty much copying my sales page word for word, then you don't need to worry about that sort of thing. Okay, I'm just saying. It's still a little fresh tonight. But otherwise, you're not meant to know all the things. You're just meant to stay in your lane and do what you're really good at. So, let's see. I'm only going to answer a couple more. How to do cash flow to update with spring items. Facebook Lives. It's out of your comfort zone. Okay, let's answer that one. From Brittany Hefner Souls. She said, Facebook Live. It's so out of your comfort zone. Have you ever tried one? That's my first question. Brittany, because here's what usually happens. People make Facebook Live into this big blue-headed monster of crazy that they're terrified to do. And what if everybody shows up? What if nobody shows up? Okay, listen, Brittany. You need to get into the habit, if you are going to be a powerful business owner, of putting yourself in uncomfortable positions regularly. Somebody write that down. You're saying it's out of your comfort zone. I have been out of my comfort zone for 4 years straight. Out of my comfort zone for 4 years straight. Listen, you cannot really grow a business and continue to be comfortable. Like, God's going to stretch you in ways you didn't even know that you needed stretched in, and didn't even in ways that you never anticipated beforehand. And it's all necessary to keep up leveling in your business. So what I would like to tell you is this. Facebook Live. Zuckerberg's team said this week, when you do a Facebook Live, we give it 6 times the reach of every other post. To which I say, I've been telling you guys that. I've been telling you that. I've been telling you 7 times. And Mark's team came out and said 6 times. And so, so if you have a reach problem, an engagement problem on your Facebook page, Mark's saying, and I'm saying, going Facebook Live is the way to solve that. But if you're still saying, Brittany, it's out of my comfort zone, I'm going to tell you I love you. It's going to be so hard for you to grow your business because everything that is required for you to grow your business is going to be out of your comfort zone. Get used to being uncomfortable. Get used to it. People that are comfortable stay in 9-to-5 hell. Okay? People that are comfortable stay in a job with PDOs and 401ks and vision plans. Okay? When you are truly an entrepreneur, somebody raise their hand here, truly an entrepreneur, you're not about comfortable. You're about betting on yourself. You're about laying all the cards on the table, betting on me. I'm no longer going to put my eggs into the basket of my 9-to-5. That's comfortable. Comfortable is not being an entrepreneur. It's like chatting with over coffee. You're so sweet. Yes, Design Decor by Tracy says she just did her first live and had a great time. Yes! I'm sorry, Katie. That was probably a rude comment because I'm so grateful for people that stay in their 9-to-5. I just couldn't. You know when you're wired for 9-to-5s and you know when you're not. That's right. Damon says bye-bye 9-to-5. He quit last week. He started in June, you guys. 7 months later, quit that 6-figure job. Quit it. Somebody says, should you go live if you only have 100 followers? Maria, you have more Facebook friends than 100. Most of you have, I would say 300 to 600 personal Facebook friends. You should be able to get more people than 100 Facebook followers on your business page tonight. Tonight, you go to your personal friends and family and be like, hey, I started my business page. I need some help. I need some help. Can you guys come like my page? You should be able to get 400 to 600 like that. Brooke says if she goes back to her 9-to-5, she'll die. Listen, Brooke, you know what? This is what I said one day in my coaching group, and I could not believe how many people emailed me. Some of them just so emotional. And this is what I said. Some of you think you're just crafting. Some of you think that you are just making. You're thinking that you're just kind of creating. You're just kind of playing. You're downplaying the whole thing, all right? You're just making a little extra money. But for some of you, and it makes me really emotional to say this, the crafting, the making, the painting, the DIYing, for some of you, it's literally saving your life. It is literally saving your life. It has gotten women out of bad marriages by selling a couple of things a month on Craigslist. It has gotten women in positions where they can feed their families. So quit making it so small. You need to quit playing so small. You need to quit downplaying this whole thing. For some of you, you're keeping sane because you're painting furniture in the evening. And that's the honest to goodness truth. Right, Jen? That's what she said. Right, Angie? So you're making it into this little thing. It ain't no little thing. It ain't no little thing. 6- and 7-figure crafting, DIYing, painting businesses are no little thing, and they are very possible. Why does that get me so excited? So that might be a really good place to end, y'all. That was fun. So, right, Jody? It saves a lot of people. And yet they just want to keep playing with it and they're sitting on a gold mine. What the heck? Because you want to stay comfortable. Ain't nobody got time for comfortable. If you want comfortable, go back to a 9-to-5. Because being an entrepreneur is not it. It's not it. So, all right, guys. Bless you. I have got to get some rest because I'm sure Stu has a full day for us tomorrow and I'm already on brain overload, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you showing up time after time on my Facebook Lives. I appreciate you sharing this. For those of you who are in my inner circle already and you're here on this Facebook Live, I appreciate you so much as well. So hopefully that's helpful. I still have 1.5 whole pages more of questions from you guys. So I will absolutely, I'll come back live here in the next couple of days and get to those, okay? All right, bless you guys. Have a good rest of your night.